Scott, we're back at you again from still at Cabot, Arkansas, and we're at Michael and Tonya Todd's home. Tonya, nice to see you again. Thanks very much for having us in your home this weekend. Janice and I really had a great time.
Oh, so. No problem. We're glad you're here.
Oh, we're having a lot of fun. First, I know that Michael's the one that gets most of the attention when it comes to arm wrestling and everything. I thought we should sit down and talk to you since he gets enough attention. We don't need any more about him. And people are going to get sick of seeing his face on Armsportvideos anyway. So, when did you get started in arm wrestling?
In 2000.
2000? That was your first tournament?
It was. It was a nationals, actually.
You went to your first tournament was a nationals?
Yes.
How'd you do?
I won.
You won? Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So, Michael was already involved in arm wrestling. So, you became hooked from watching him arm wrestling, or you wanted to give it a try, or how did it come about?
Well, I went to a few events with him.
Okay.
And I'm very competitive, and he had talked to me a little bit about competing. And I thought, well, this will be something that we could do together, something we could share together. Okay.
Now, in the beginning, did you guys train together too, as well for arm wrestling, for your physiques, whatever? Did you guys weight train together?
Well, when we actually first met, I had seen him walking across the gym, and I was on the treadmill. And I literally got weak in the knees and almost fell off the treadmill when I saw him because he was just such a hottie. But anyway. So anyway.
Michael's off camera and his head is swelling. I swear to God, as we say this.
But once we
he was such a hottie. What the hell happened to him?
Oh, he just got better because I'm with him now.
Oh, I understand now. Okay.
I keep a check on him. Anyway, so once we did get together, he worked out with me, and then actually in 2003, a friend of ours, I was actually training for nationals, and a friend of mine told me I needed to get into figure competitions because I was so lean, and so I didn't know anything about that. And Michael is actually the one who taught me how to do all the posing, and we worked with my diet, and so that's where my figure stuff came in.
So was that bodybuilding?
Well, figure is a very feminine version of bodybuilding.
Oh, okay. So
it's like fitness without the routine.
Okay, so you're looking more for definition and being cut up than the bulk.
Right.
Okay. So you compete the same as the bodybuilders, but it's more feminine as your...
Right. In figure, you have 2 rounds. You have to come out and do posing in a 1-piece and then come back out and do posing in a 2-piece.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, do you like that? You still do? Are you still active in that?
I am. I'm a national level NPC. And my last competition was this year's Arnold, the 2008 Arnold, where I did both figure and arm wrestling. And I'm actually only athlete in the history of the Arnold to do 2 different disciplines in the same.
Really?
Right, to do the same.
Oh, Michael, she's kicking your ass all over the place now.
But I did this 2 years in a row, so it was interesting.
That's outstanding. That's good. Okay, so how did you do? How did you do at the arm wrestling?
Oh, I bit the dust.
Oh, did you?
I was very dehydrated. I came in at 115 in a 143-pound class.
Oh, okay.
And I was very tired because I cannot do both of them again. It's just way too much on your body because you are totally dehydrated.
You're sucking all the water out of your body for your fitness. Okay, so how did you do in the fitness?
I came in 12th, I think.
Okay, now were you happy with that?
Well, no, I'm never happy with it.
Well, you're competitive, so no, but...
So, I think there were like 50, I think there was 20 to 50 girls. I can't remember exactly how many were in that class. My class is, I'm 5, depending on who measured me, I'm 5'2" 3/4" or 5'3".
Okay.
So it just kind of depends. And so I was in the C level class, which I should have been in the B level because that's what I was the year before.
Okay. So, which did you do first at the Arnold? Did you arm wrestle first, or was the fitness first?
The figure was first.
Okay.
And then as soon as the figure, I had to literally run over to the arm wrestling because I was going to be late. The first year I had to take a first round loss because the figure wasn't finished yet, and so that made it a little bit difficult.
Okay, that's got to be a brutal weekend then for you.
I was
to do
tired.
both?
I was tired.
Yeah, because, I mean, well, most arm wrestlers, you're trying to bulk up a bit. where you have to be leaned right out to do the figure competition.
Right.
So you continue to do the figure competitions?
That's the only one I've done this year. I
Okay.
plan on doing 2 or 3 more, but we're just kind of taking a break on that for a little bit, trying to focus a little bit more on arm wrestling.
Okay.
Because the world is coming up, and that's important.
Yeah. Well, no, I saw you at, and I mean, you and I were talking yesterday, and I saw you at the Unified Nationals in Salt Lake, and you just didn't seem to be comfortable at the table.
My mind wasn't in it.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of those things that's unfortunate that your head just wasn't there. And the people that I had competed against before had even made comments to me that I wasn't even the same person. It looks like I'd never even been at the table. And it just, I felt like I had a lot of pressure on me. So
Did you put pressure on yourself to perform well? Or?
I think there was almost a, well, I have to take full credit for it. I did put a lot of pressure. I'd been told that, I was the person to beat, and I don't need to know that. I don't need to know, because then I feel like everybody's gunning for me. And in my mindset is I have to win, instead of focusing on what I need to do.
Okay.
So.
And I just switched topics a little bit. I asked you a little bit earlier. Scott screwed up with the microphones and everything. But women in arm wrestling. So what can the promoters do to get more women out? I don't know, is it up to the promoters? Is it up to the women? What has to happen for women's stature to rise and numbers to rise in arm wrestling? What do you think?
Well, one, I think there needs to be a better breakdown in the weight classes.
Okay.
For me to go to the bigger events, if I'm pulling a 143-pound person or an open person, that to me is like, why do I need to go to spend my money to not only get there, but to pay the entry fee if I'm just going to lose to a 176-pound person?
So you could show up at a tournament and pull somebody like Brandy Stark, Joyce King?
Absolutely.
Wow, okay.
So it makes it difficult and frustrating. Now, from a promoter standpoint, it's like, well, we don't have enough women that's interested. Well, then entice me.
Okay.
What are you going to give me besides 100% cash payback? Because sometimes that's what they, it's due. So what they do. Now, there are some tournaments though that do offer a little bit more money, but I think it's going to be, what are you going to do to entice me? Don't give me an open weight class, and then that's where you're going to offer all your money. Split it up, maybe 0 to 132 pounds, and change it up a little bit. I think that would make it a little bit more luring for girls that are smaller weight.
Okay.
But if you want to focus mainly on the larger girls or the more, I don't know. But I think that's what we need to have. And plus, I think that on a woman's standpoint, we need to quit so much whining about what are you going to give us. Instead, we need to think about how we're going to step up our game and make people notice us. What are we going to do to make ourselves marketable? I have to say that Neil's doing a great job. Let's take Sarah, for instance.
Sarah Backman from Sweden. Okay.
Love her. But she is very marketable, and she is putting out the persona that I want people to see women as.
Okay.
She's beautiful, she's fit, she's on top of her game, and she's just very sweet. So with that combination, I think that people's persona or perspective of what women look like or what they are in arm wrestling, I think that's going to help change.
Okay, so you mentioned Neil. So you went over with Michael to England, and you got to compete against Sarah over at Liverpool?
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
So how was that experience for you?
Well, it was a little frustrating. We didn't realize how much bigger that she is than I am.
Okay.
And I was giving her about 30 pounds. She's dominant left-handed. I'm more dominant right-handed.
Okay.
Right-handed match is what we had first. And I didn't have a riser, so I was really, really low. When I was standing, actually, my feet didn't touch the floor. I had to stand on my tippy toes on the legs of the table because I couldn't pull myself up to get comfortable on the table to where I normally am.
So Neil didn't have risers there for you?
For something happened because the risers didn't make it there and the trophies didn't make it there.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't his fault.
No, okay.
So, but it was funny because all I could do is just, Michael was coaching me to the side, and he said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how much bigger she was." I said, "I can't reach the table." So anyway, all this happened, and the gentleman who was filming Your Sports came to me afterwards, and he said, "You have an unfinished story." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, you're at a huge disadvantage." And so he explained to me, he said, because it looked like it was David and Goliath.
Oh, really?
And so, so anyway, I said, well, I'm just going to say it was not my day. Well, I don't want to take anything away from Sarah because she's a great girl, and it just wasn't my day. You can't always win. So we learned something. So that night, Keith, the ref, he went home and made me a riser. So
no way, really?
He did. He did. I was so grateful. And when we were there, several of the people in the audience called me their little American friend. I was known as a little American. And so left-handed, again, she's dominant, and I couldn't touch her left-handed.
No.
I fought. I didn't let her slam me, and I fought like you would not believe. And so then when we did the show, I had my riser, so we did right-handed, and she could not believe how much stronger than I was. I taught her to say, "Holy cow," and so, because I obviously say that a lot, and she said, "Holy cow, I didn't think that I could pin you," because she had screamed at me like Travis, and I said, "Girl, you played that off really well. You did a Travis scream on me." And that's when she said she didn't know she would have been able to pin me.
So that was left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed, okay.
At the show, because we did like the competitions, and then we had the show for the firefighters.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, I need that redemption. So
you're looking for an invitation back now.
I would like to have that. Of course, I would like to have somebody that's more my weight to make it a little bit more fair.
Okay. So overall, your experience was great?
Yeah, I had a great time.
Okay.
Great time.
You got to meet some of the people that Michael got to pull against, Johan and Tommy Kokara and I don't know, I'm not exactly sure who else was there, but...
Oh, holy cow, we had, there was a lot of people there. Now, honestly, I had really ill feelings for Tommy at first because of just the footage that I had seen.
Okay.
But once I met him, he is one funny person.
He's a great guy.
And he is really, really nice. And we hung out a lot with Johan and Lena, which is Johan's wife, and then Sarah and Tommy, and we had a great time. Great time. Good.
I'm glad to hear it. So, what's next for you for arm wrestling for this year?
What's next for me is probably Worlds.
Worlds?
I'm not going to get to go to ROTN. I have made an agreement with Metrics because I do some booth work for them.
Okay.
And they asked me to do some stuff for them the same weekend of ROTN.
Oh, okay.
So
you're letting Michael on his own?
He is, and you know what? I worry so much. Because that's the reason the whole NAL thing with Ron Bath, he needed me there because I make sure he eats. I make sure he eats. I make sure he has stuff to drink. He doesn't know what to do because when he's
What a big old baby. He can't even look after himself.
I know, because when he's at home, he doesn't have to do anything. I fix his drinks. I even cut his chicken up and his food, his meat, so he didn't have to cut it up.
Oh, the rest of the weekend he's going to have to pay now. Torture the rest of the weekend. He's as spoiled as I am, I think.
He's pretty spoiled, but that's okay. That's my job.
So just Worlds, and that's it for you for the year?
For right now, that's all we're seeing. Now, if I do a figure show, then we'd look maybe sometime in November.
Okay.
But right now, I'm just going to try to focus in on training for Worlds because I hear I've got a pretty good class going on.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure who's actually going to make it to Canada, but pretty tough class. Over in Bulgaria, it was a pretty tough class last year. So, yeah, you'll have to be ready.
I'll be ready.
That's good.
I'll be ready.
Well, listen, I appreciate you sitting down talking to me. And again, Janice, I want to thank you guys for having us at your home. It was a really great weekend. So thanks very much.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. For Tonya Todd, I'm Scott McGinnis. And